foolishness. I know you're all
As a man, I'm flesh and blood. I can be ignored, I can be destroyed, but as a symbol, as a symbol, I can be incorruptible.
He gave us a signal.
Where are you?
Something elemental, something terrifying.
Well, hello. Welcome to the 26th episode of CaveCast. I'm Sammy Threepeat. And it looks like I might be flying alone today, but that's okay because this is going to be a quicker one. As you guys know, my grandmother just passed, so I don't really have too much time to spend on this one, although this is going to be a fun one. We're wrapping up the golden age today, so we have a couple of characters. I sent out some invites, so we might get some people popping in, but if not, no big deal. I just wanted to go over some noticeable golden age characters. Not a lot to say about them. Some of them are one shots. Some of them kind of evolved to be more fourth tier bad guys, kind of, like D tier. And some of them never showed up again, and rightfully so. But this is going to be wrapping up the CaveCast. Well, I guess if it's just me, I can kind of just go like this. Yeah. Oh, well, let's see. Should be getting more people jumping in here in a second, but just wanted to say hi to the cavers right now. We got Jake Martin as always. Sergeant, good to see you, sir. Looking forward to talking Batman with you in January. Always a pleasure. Kickbot, thank you, Kickbot. You've always stood behind me. Those footprints on the beach. It was Kickbot carrying you the whole time. Yeah, just me. I guess I'm flying solo. I did send out some invites, but who knows? That doesn't really matter too much. So let's start out with a golden age character that I believe only showed up 2 times. And but by definition, is probably Batman's first supervillain that he ever encountered, and then I'm pretty sure he doesn't show up again. Indeed, he is the wind beneath my wings. He is he only showed up 2 times, and this is like when Batman didn't have his no kill rule. So let's start off with this fella right here. Dr. Death. Dr. Death, or Carl Helfern, is a supervillain appearing in publications by DC Comics, primarily as an enemy of Batman, created by Gardner Fox and Bob Kane. So primarily Gardner Fox. He is notable as the first traditional supervillain to be encountered by Batman, as well as his first reoccurring foe. So publication, the character first appeared in Detective Comics 29. So I'm pretty sure that's the second ever issue that Batman was in. So, oh no, it's okay. That was 27. So sorry, I was off by an issue. But he shows up in 29 and 30. It's an issue of dispute, leaving the creator of Dr. Death uncertain. Batman creator Bob Kane is officially credited as the scriptwriter of these issues, although Gardner Fox, the scriptwriter, of Detective Comics 31 to 32 claimed authorship. And if we know anything about Bob Kane, as he likes to steal shit. But you know, one thing that he hadn't stolen is Ice Bane. Ice Bane! Ice Bane! Born in a prison, you get dubbed insane. Born in a... Yeah, we don't have to listen to the whole fucking thing. But interesting character. Looks nothing like this in his first appearance. He's just a regular dude. But so fictional character biography. In his first appearance in Detective Comics number 29, Dr. Death developed a lethal chemical agent from pollen extract and plans to use the poison to extort money from wealthy Gotham citizens. He assisted by a large East Indian manservant, Jabba, and we'll get to Jabba in a second because that's one of Batman's first kills. Is he swings in and he breaks Jabba's neck. Jabba peeks his head out the window, and Batman swings down on his rope and just snaps his neck. He decides to eliminate Batman and threatens to kill someone unless Batman stops him. Batman defeats his two henchmen, but is wounded when Jabba shoots him, though he escapes using a gas pellet. He then gets Dr. Death's base, meeting him in his lab to chase him around the building. To evade capture, Dr. Death ignites chemicals in his laboratory, presumably killing Jabba and himself in the resulting explosion. Hi, Scooby Pop. Good to see you, my dear. Dr. Death next reappears in the following month in Detective Comics number 30 with a new accomplice, a Cossack named Mikhail. Dr. Death is successful. Is this time successful in claiming his victim in his extortion scheme, but discovers the widow that the poison man lost his fortune in the Great Depression. So Batman intervenes in the plot, following Mikhail to the back door of the base. Upon apprehending the doctor, he discovers that his face has been horribly disfigured and giving him a brown skeletal appearance. So yeah, he looks like a normal guy. Then he got blown up, and that's nothing. You don't hear anything about Dr. Death till like a couple more decades. So yeah, till 1982. So 39 all the way to 1982, this character was on ice. Boosh McFadden. Everybody's favorite Boosh McFadden. Everyone say hi to Boosh. He's a good buddy. Friend of the channel, one might say. But so he doesn't come back until the Bronze Age. Several decades absence, writer Jerry Conway, another great writer for DC Comics. But yeah, he's a co-creator of Punisher. Plenty of great contributions he's made to comics. Although I'm pretty sure he is responsible for the Spider-Man Ben Reilly clone. You guys can do with that what you want. So he was reintroduced in Batman 345 and Detective Comics 512. Conway's story is an update on the original 1939 tale. In this version, Dr. Death is depicted as a paraplegic, but his deadly gas gimmick remains the same. He is assisted at this time by a manservant named Tago. Why they changed that, I can't say. People just liked it better that way. All right. Modern age. That's when he starts looking like this. In the new 52 continuity reboot, Dr. Death is a disgruntled former Wayne scientist who created a serum that causes uncontrolled bone growth. and possesses a skeletal appearance due to testing it on himself. He is killed in a battle after being affected by the serum. So that's pretty much it. Yes, lots of manservants in the Golden Age. It was kind of a thing. Well, manservants. Batman had a butler. Um, you know, yeah, but he's bald. He's depicted as a gnome-like man. I guess we skipped the modern age. It doesn't really matter. He's kind of a nothing character. Great name though. Great Golden Age name. Dr. Death is you know, pretty standard supervillain or supervillain fodder. Nothing really more to add. But he is Batman's first quote unquote supervillain. So got that going. Can, this one I couldn't even find an actual Wikipedia page on, but he's also a very early villain, and he's kind of an oddity because let's just jump right to him. His name is the Mad Monk, or Nikolai Tepish, but he's not just a Mad Monk, he's a vampire. So very early on, Batman was fighting like the supernatural. So let's see, do they have like when he shows up? Batman or Detective Comics 31. So this is also 1939. Let's see if we can zoom in a little. Show you what the dude looks like here. But before he's just kind of got this hood on. But yeah, he can only really got anything from the first story that he's in. He eventually yes, like Vlad Tepes, who is better known as Dracula. But also, Dracula exists in both Marvel and DC continuity. So a lot of those public domain characters do. I'm pretty sure Robin Hood exists, Sherlock Holmes exists. They just don't get used often because like no one gives a shit, to be dreadfully honest. So yeah, not much to the description here. Like I said, this one's going to be kind of quick. We're just doing wrap ups. Not a lot of these characters are very notable. I kind of mixed and matched which ones were going to be notable, which ones weren't. So the Mad Monk is Nikolai Tepish, a vampire enemy of Batman who leads a cult called the Brotherhood from an abandoned castle on the outskirts of Gotham City. So many castles in Gotham City, just lying around, just waiting to be taken over by a vampire monk. His followers, among whom is the Gothic Dala, fed upon the blood of captured victims such as Julie Madison. Probably should mention Julie Madison. Here, we'll just type in Julie Madison. Julie Madison is one of the very early love interests for Batman. I'm not sure if she predates Vicky Vale. I'm pretty sure she does, though. Pretty sure that's Batman's first love interest. So we'll just type in Julie Madison, DC Comics. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, so just Detective Comics 31. So Gardner Fox, Bob Kane, Sheldon Moldoff. So very early on, but also not notable. She's got red hair. She's hot. Bruce Wayne likes her. Not much else needed knowing. He is notable for being the second supervillain to face Batman in publication history, as well as the main antagonist in the Dark Knight's first two-part storyline. Yeah, we can see what an impact he's made. Okay, apparently he comes back in Blackest Night. We got anything? Okay. That's why I never use these sites. They're shit. Moving on. One I think that we all know and has gotten much more popular over the years is Deadshot. Deadshot is a supervillain in American comics. He's 59 or Batman 59, so June 1950, tail end of the golden age. Much different appearance than what we are used to seeing. He was just kind of a dude in a tuxedo. But he was a trick shooter. He could make these and gun for hire. He could make these amazing shots that no one else could. So created by Vern Reed and artist Lou Sayre Schwartz, based on a concept from Bob Kane. You can take that or leave it. I really, it's really hard for me to believe that Bob Kane actually did anything. Oh, guys, remember to like, subscribe, share the channel around, share the show. If you want to pass this around on X, that'd be, I thank you for it. Hello, Selena. We are just wrapping up the rest of the Golden Age villains. So we were just seeing what's going on. But like I said, most of these guys, there's not a lot to get to. But this is actually a character who has ended up getting like a resurgence and more of like a mainstay, a lot more respect than usual. He's more like affiliated with the Suicide Squad than anything else. So he in 1950 introduced as a gun-toting criminal in a tuxedo and a top hat and a domino mask. Deadshot was originally intended to be a one-off villain to the superhero Batman, but writer Steve Englehart and artist Marshall Rogers revived and redesigned and popularized the character in Detective Comics 474, and that's 1977. So in the Bronze Age is when he really gets his glow up here, and that's the case for a lot of Batman villains. The Bronze Age and like the early modern age 90s and everything. It's really when you start to see like these characters blossom and become the ones that we know today. And then Marshall Rogers, handsome devil, also a talented comic book artist. Let's see. Yeah, it's this in 1977, which featured the debut of his wrist-mounted guns and rectal emblem and mask with built-in targeted sight. He has since become Deadshot's motif. This revamped the depiction of the character has endured as one of Batman's most reoccurring enemies, belonging to the collective adversaries most known of as the Rogues Gallery. And I am a member of a different Rogues Gallery, and I am happy to be one. But Deadshot is the alias of Floyd Lawton, a mercenary with a death wish who possesses an uncanny, near superhuman accuracy, and regularly boasts that he never missed a shot. Regarded as the greatest marksman and one of the deadliest assassins in the DC universe, Deadshot has come into conflict with various heroes, including Batman, Green Arrow, and the Justice League. You could have just said the Justice League, and that probably would have encapsulated everybody. I don't know what you mean. Sorry, Booch, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The character has also been depicted as an anti-hero and a core member of the Suicide Squad task force of supervillains coerced by the U.S. government into executing Black Ops missions and neutralizing more dangerous threats in exchange for reduced prison sentences and, in Deadshot's case, support for his estranged daughter, Zoe. The character has been adapted into various media incarnations, He's been on Smallville, Arrow. He was played by Will Smith. And that's when Will Smith goes, "Time to save the world." Michael Rosenbaum. So he's been played by a bunch of different fucking people. That's great. So yeah, so he's supposed to be a one-off character. His only appearance in the Golden Age, he was intended to be a one-off villain. Deadshot is revived 27 years later. Basically what we covered. Oh, okay, my bad. I got a bit of a stuffy nose, so I don't know. What are you gonna do? Will Smith's Deadshot was a righty, but they put the rectal on his left eye. Might be overthinking that. I don't know. You know, I'm a right-hander, but I used to bat left. You never know. No, I'm a righty. My dominant eye is on the left, so I don't know. Maybe that's why he had the rectal to begin with. Now you got me overthinking it. Also, welcome. Yeah, we're flying solo today. It's no big deal. NBD, because like I said, we're just trying to wrap up these characters. I was never really planning on giving Deadshot his own episode anyway. But so yeah, so he wasn't much, but let's get into his origin. In his debut appearance, Floyd Lawton is introduced as an independently wealthy man with a trusted staff member and valet named Stevens. All right. Gotham's wealthier citizens included Batman's alter ego, referred to Lawton as someone new to Gotham City. You know, some of that new money. Following his recruitment to Task Force S, Lawton's past is further explained by a therapist, Dr. Marnie Hares. As a child, Floyd Lawton and his older brother Eddie Lawton, were raised in a wealthy family that had great influence over their community. Their father, George, owns interest in much of the local real estate and holds sway over the local police, while their mother, Genevieve, a prize-winning sharpshooter, controls the pit banking businesses. The Lawton parents are seen as a power couple and in their society circles, but in private they grow to hate each other. It's a shame. I thought they were going to stay together forever. By various accounts, Floyd is repeatedly judged by his parents for not matching the achievements of his brother in academics and sports, and leading the younger Lawton child to act out in various ways. That's why you got to love your kids evenly. You got to hug that mediocrity out of them. Don't be a snoot. Can't just be like, oh, you'll never be like Eddie, because you know Floyd's not going to take it very well. When Eddie is in his mid-teens and Floyd is around 12, Genevieve tells her sons about her husband's infidelities and many abuses she suffers under him, then asks the boys to kill George. Floyd attempts to warn George. Sorry. I'm just kind of clicked in where like my mom sits me and my brother down and was like, hey, your dad's kind of a dick. I know that I'm a famous sharpshooter, but I'm going to need one of I'm going to need either my 15-year-old or my 12-year-old to do it. Women and accountability. It's unbelievable. Although one's in the chat for Genevieve, would you? Floyd's mom? No, nothing, because there's no picture of her. She's probably hot though. They did say power couple. Let's see. Floyd attempts to warn George, but Eddie locks his younger brother in the nearby boathouse and then locks the doors of the family home so no one can enter and intrude on the killing. Floyd escapes, grabs a hunting rifle, climbs to a nearby tree and gets the better view through all the windows of his family home. Seeing Eddie enter the house library to shoot his father, Floyd fires the rifle, hoping to disarm his brother, but the tree branch suddenly gives way, throwing off his aim, Eddie to shoot, uh, causing him to shoot Eddie, just as his elder brother shoots his father. Uh, Eddie's aim was thrown off, leading the bullet to shatter George's spine. Refusing to have his family name tarnished by scandal that would occur, George arranges with the police to cover up the details of the crime. The official report concludes that an unknown sniper opened fire twice on George and his son Eddie. Heroically died while diving into the path of the second bullet. Oh, what a nice little cover up. Back in the days when you could pay off law enforcement. Just kidding, you still can. Just kidding. Happens all the time. Look at Minnesota. Yeah. As a punishment for her efforts, George refuses to divorce Genevieve and instead forces her to live on a limited allowance in isolation in another smaller house, the Lawton zone on the outskirts of town. After high school, Floyd Lawton left his family home to travel, despite his later claim that he felt nothing on seeing his brother die. He often shows anger when recalling the incident, and Eddie's death inspires him to swear in the future when he fires a gun, he will never miss. Next several years of Floyd Lawton's life before his arrival to Gotham are not fully explained in the comics, though it's eventually revealed that as a young man, he did meet David Kane, a highly skilled assassin, and Cassandra Cain's dad, who years earlier had been one of the teachers of Batman during their heroes' many years of preparation for crime fighting. As a member of the League of Assassins, who sometimes take private contracts, but are also available as operatives of the terrorist Ra's al Ghul, Kane is an expert in marksmanship, hand-to-hand combat techniques, martial arts, military tactics, and he trains Floyd Lawton in all these areas. Floyd remarks that Kane was his best teacher. Okay, so he's a hired assassin. He goes to Europe, South America, staying largely unknown to authorities, but gaining a reputation among certain gangs and cartels as the killer who never misses. At some point, Floyd Lawton marries a woman named Susan. They have a child together, a boy named Edward after his brother. Floyd later divorces Susan and removes himself from Edward's life. He later claims he did so because Susan saw him not as who he is, but who she thought he could be. So she wanted to change him. And that's his presence endangered the lives and happiness of her and Edward. So we'll focus primarily on the Golden Age and then move on because newer age Deadshot is cooler. Eventually, Floyd takes residence in Gotham City and hires an assistant and trusted valet named Stevens. It's not Steven. He decided to become an influential figure and crime lord, similar to how his parents operated in his hometown. While attending a charity ball, Floyd witnesses Gotham City's hero Batman apprehend a group of thieves. Seeing Batman as his rival, Floyd decides to reduce the hero's influence on Gotham before fully embarking on a criminal career. Donning a tuxedo, a top hat, a gun belt, and a domino mask, Lawton operates publicly in Gotham City as a vigilante called Deadshot, who uses his marksmanship and abilities to disarm criminals without killing them. Batman becomes suspicious of Deadshot and eventually learns his true motives and identity. Later, Deadshot reveals himself and attempts to kill Batman, but is shocked when each of his shots miss. Batman taunts Batman taunts Deadshot that he has no nerve to properly face and kill an opponent. In truth, Batman had gotten to Deadshot's weapons ahead of time and altered their sights to throw off his aim, hoping to shake the villain psychologically. Publicly exposed, Deadshot is taken to trial and imprisoned. So, as far as we know, that was the end of Deadshot until several decades later. Let's get to one of the dumber villains, who I believe is a one-shot villain, but he is important for one reason and one reason only. The Penny Plunderer, Joe Coyne. He's a Golden Age hero or a Golden Age villain. Basically, all you need to know is he captures Batman and he tries to squish him with a giant penny, and that giant penny has remained in the Batcave ever since. So even though that they've never used this villain again because his motive is to steal pennies, and I think he fought with pennies. Eh, that's what he does. That's his thing. Okay, yeah, he's definitely not as cool as El Gaucho.
For what's right. For love. My paws are a cry for justice. My dick veins are a cry of passion. I am El Gaucho.
So yeah, we can do the brief history. Let's try to keep it as brief as possible because trying to wrap up make this one like a clean hour. Ryu, love you, buddy. Thanks for dropping in. Friend of the channel and trusted mod. Joe Coyne began his career selling nickel price newspapers as a child, getting frustrated when people kept giving him pennies for tips. As he got older, he would get in trouble for various penny related problems, getting fired for gambling on penny pitching games during work, by a holdup gone wrong where the police rub coins. Hold on, I gotta make this bigger. Yeah, yes, Jake. He's not as good as the. You know what? I'm not even gonna say that. That's gonna be a tough one to say on stream. Let's make that a little bit bigger. In a holdup gone wrong where the police rub coins failure by pointing out that the register only held pennies. This broke the man, who developed an obsession with the 1 cent coin during his time in prison. After getting out, he proceeded to commit crimes that were centered around pennies. Batman's first encounter with the criminal is when Coyne attempted the robbery of one rare penny black stamp at a coin and stamp showcase. This showcase also contained a giant penny shown in the Batcave as a trophy. Batman's defeat of the Penny Plunderer. And that is pretty much all we have to know about the Penny Plunderer, because he's not that great of a character. But a character who was meant to be kind of like, he was originally meant to be the anti-Batman, and he ended up just kind of being like, I don't know, like C or Teal. I'll see what the chat has to say. What do you guys think about Killer Moth? I don't think he's necessarily completely useless, but he's definitely not S or A ranked, right? So he's a supervillain primarily remembered as an antagonist for Batgirl and Batman, having decided that lawbreakers in Crime City need a costume protector. Just as honest citizens had Batman, Killer Moth emulated the Dark Knight. You've never heard of Killer Moth? All right. All right. Okay. He emulated the Dark Knight in any way, copying his paraphernalia and building on his legend to create his own supervillain identity. He eventually came to be to resemble a dark image of Batman, even adopting an alter ego as wealthy philanthropist, similar to Bruce Wayne. Moth is motivated by greed rather than justice, and only served the criminal underworld for a price. His bizarrely ingenious weaponry. He even has the Mothmobile modeled on Batman's Batmobile, and incapacitating cocoon gun did not protect him from the constant defeat at the hands of Batman. So let's just get into early career. Okay, well, I mean, this is Killer Moth, and he's been around since 51. So at the tail end of the golden age. Well, we'll cover Firefly, but not on this episode. Unless, hold on, let me check when Firefly actually came out. You know what? We can throw him on here because Firefly's pretty cool. I will I will add him to the list because technically he's a golden age character. But either way, back to where was he? Back to Killer Moth. So much like Batman, Killer Moth's textual history has undergone several major revisions, but a few fixed themes have emerged. Namely, he was a petty ex-convict who dreamed up a scheme to be the patron saint of Gotham's criminals by protecting them from law enforcement, donning a garish costume. The self-styled Killer Moth used his skills to help other miscreants evade capture in exchange for the share of their ill-gotten wealth. He This has brought Moth into several confrontations with Batman, nearly resulting in his defeat and return. Nearly always resulting in his defeat and return incarceration. During a botched attempt to kidnap Bruce Wayne, Moth was thwarted in his efforts by Barbara Gordon, the daughter of Police Chief James Gordon. We also know her as Batgirl, Oracle. This experience helped establish Barbara as the fledgling hero Batgirl. While Killer Moth was originally considered a threat in his own right, his reputation declined thereafter. He went on from being a consistent regular of Batman's Rogues Gallery to an obscure washout who struggled to be taken seriously. And that's something that you should know about Killer Moth moving forward is like he did kind of start out going gangbusters and you know, you get defeated a couple times, people tend to not give a shit anymore. You know, there's only so many times you can screw up, especially in Gotham when people just won't take you serious. But God love him, he keeps trying. Like many supervillains introduced during the golden age of comics, Killer Moth's flamboyant persona and spectacularly bizarre, often impractical schemes were regarded as being unsuitable for the increasingly dark, gritty Batman stories, which began appearing in during the late 60s and early 70s. Onwards, interest in Killer Moth diminished quickly with the end of the Silver Age. With the new audience invested in a more realistic noir themes, the more cartoonish Golden Age and Silver Age villains disappeared from Batman's cases. Having survived this trend, Killer Moth was nevertheless the rare exception to the rule. Batman himself once described him as a relic of a bygone era, much like others such as Crazy Quilt and the Cavalier. Holy shit, did I forget Crazy Quilt? Gotta put him on here too. Although that might be a Silver Age comic book character. Let's see. No, Crazy Quilt is Crazy Quilt's golden age. We're gonna have to talk about Crazy Quilt too. Oh, this is growing. This is growing. This might be a bigger one than I thought. Either way, uh, and the Cavalier, who continued to resurface on occasion in futile attempts to reassert themselves as successful criminals. Part of the reason the character's continued survival was the pivotal role he has traditionally played in Barbara Gordon's career as Batgirl, making him an inseparable part from her past in most reincarnations. You know what? That would be a wonderful one-off story where Killer Moth and Firefly keep crashing into each other. Um, okay. Although Killer Moth was originally conceived as human after the Golden Age, she was almost never shown out of costume, leading some uh ambiguity concerning his true nature. During the Bronze Age of comics, he appeared to exhibit some genuinely animalistic characteristics, such as a set of razor sharp teeth. He used to saw through Batgirl's grapnel line. This theme resurfaced a few times since, namely in Teen Titans in the Batman the Animated Series, as well as Underworld Unleashed storyline, in which the Moth transformed into a humanoid monster known as Chiraxus. I don't know any of this. Since the original character was never named, Killer Moth's true identity was also a topic of some disputes. Compounding on the confusion was the fact that he used a variety of aliases. Moth was alternatively referred to as Arthur Legend, Cameron Van Clear, Lazio Flurenbach, and Drury Walker. Because, those are names you pick. Not going to draw too much attention with a name like Lazio Flurenbach. Friend of the channel, Lazio Flurenbach. With the latter being used the most consistently, or with most consistency, further adding to the ambiguities, the sheer numbers of outright imposters with the unverifiable claims of having used or having assumed the Killer Moth persona at some point or another, and suggesting the supervillain gave rise to a cult following. So he's just a regular dude, just kind of like reading the paper, learns about Batman. That's him in the Moth Cave, standing on the Mothmobile. Yep, that's, I guess, when he came back. You look like you could use a Flurenbach. His Twilight years. Oh my God! So you got the Cavalier standing next to Lex Luthor, the Joker, and Killer Moth. So there was a point in time when he was, I guess, a respected villain. They try to streamline the costume a little bit more. You can see like he kind of looks a little bit more formidable every single time. He's just kind of a dude there. He kind of looks like Moomin Rider here. And then you can see a little bit more animalistic. And now he kind of looks, they've updated him enough where, like, I know the color scheme's a little insane, but like he at least looks like somewhat formidable. And yeah, that's Killer Moth. Let's get into this guy. Me too. Actually, it's been a while since I got a Shiner back. Cavalier. This guy basically is just a dude who dresses up like a musketeer and commits crimes. Not really much to say. Um, oh, despite his criminal tendencies, purports the man of gallantry and honor. Mortimer Drake is confirmed homosexual. Not shocked. But having been closeted relationship with fellow villain Captain Stingray. I don't even know who that is. Okay, so another like pirate character. So these two like pirate looking characters are like gay for each other. um but his brief successor was Hudson Pyle, a stuntman turned vigilante, but like that's really all there is to him. But he debuted in Detective Comics 81, 1943. So like yeah, that's him. Hey, Joker voice. Ah, it's all right, buddy. Don't worry about it. You just enjoy taco night. And we'll get you back on here soon. Okay, so like I said, there really is nothing to these characters. Let's move on to some other dumb characters. Tweedledum and Tweedledee. So they are the cousins of the Tweed brothers, Dumfrey and Deaver Tweed, who also have also been around for quite some time. So, you know, they've been around since 1943. So but they're basically the same characters. They're just kind of like yeah. Deaver Tweed and Tweedledee, also known as Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They're usually part of the Wonderland gang, but sometimes, you know, whatever. They're basically, you know, also through the Looking Glass inspired characters because it's a madhouse. There's really nothing. They're Alice in Wonderland inspired characters. They usually work with the Mad Hatter. Sometimes they work alone. That's about it. This one, guys, it's pretty self-explanatory on like why this one is named who he is and why you've probably only seen him show up once. Mr. Camera, the guy with camera eyes. His signature use of photographic device in his crime, he wears a camera lens helmet, once capable to record footage of the dynamic ghoul. He was trying to get Batman and Robin's secret identity, but he's just a guy who runs around in a tuxedo and a cape, and he has a giant camera on his head. maybe the I got nothing for this. This is just pure golden age buffoonery, but um you know, he reminds me of what's his face from The Tick, Chairface Chippendale. That's the maybe what they were like going for with this. All right, I think let's get to these last couple because they're really not, and these are the ones that just brought up from you guys just from being in the chat. So thank you, Cavers, for this one. Much better character. Can't believe I overlooked him. Like I said, at the bare end of the golden age here. Because yeah, so the golden age is from 38 to 56. This bad boy came out in 52. Firefly, Garfield Lens. He's a supervillain, obviously, but he's he's a sociopath and like pyromaniac who like flies around. So it's actually a pretty great concept because like he's like hell from above, and surprisingly, he doesn't. I don't think he gets enough talk. I think he'd be a better. I think he'd be a better. He should get more love. What's up, Pouty? You ready for some news in tomorrow? Yeah. So and one of the best names in comics, Dick Sprang. So Detective Comics 184, June 1952. He's portrayed as a criminal who utilizes lighting effects to commit robberies. Firefly was later imagined as a sociopathic pyromaniac with his compulsion to start fires. Oh, okay. So he wasn't cool until after Crisis on Infinite Earths, which makes a lot of sense. But ever since then, he's endured as Batman's one of the most recurring enemies and belongs to the Rogues Gallery. So he's been in various things, but he's on the Arrowverse. He is in the Arkham video games. But that's how he originally looked. So pre-crisis, Garfield Lins was a down and out special effects expert whose plan to rob. So okay, I just want to reiterate, this is how we know the character. So whoever gave him that glow up, God bless him, because this is so much cooler than this. So he's basically like a gayer version of Mysterio. He was a down and out special effects expert whose plan to rob a theater by faking a fire was foiled by Batman and Robin as Lins fled the scene. Batman and mistook a distant Firefly for Lynn's lit cigarette and gave chase in the wrong direction. Lynn saw this as a sign of fate and became the Firefly, a costume criminal with various lightning effects and optical illusions during heists. So it's kind of really all we got. Yeah, that's for sure pick me cosplay. Okay, following Crisis on Infinite Earths, Firefly is reimagined as a darker and more violent character after being taken away from their abusive parents. Garfield Lins and his sister Amanda grow up in the Saint in Evangelina orphanage. Unlike his sister, Garfield is a problematic child whom nobody wants to adopt. As an adult, Lins becomes a pyrotechnic and special effects expert in the film industry before falling victim to poverty and becoming a criminal. Lins becomes a professional arsonist known as Firefly and allies with Killer Moth in an attempt to kill Batman and Robin. So, there is a Batman, or there is a Firefly Killer Moth team up. Their alliance falls apart, sadly, when Killer Moth realizes that Firefly's madness and fears for his own well-being. The two villains are taken into custody in Batman Nightfall. Firefly escapes from Arkham Asylum and attempts to burn all of the places he lacked the privilege to go to as a child. After successfully destroying a pier and a theater, Firefly is stopped by Batman, and as he tries to scorch the Gotham Zoo. Damn, you're going to scorch the Gotham Zoo? Those animals didn't do shit to you, Garfield. Asshole. In an attempt to burn Gotham to the ground, Firefly is scarred in a chemical explosion and designs a fire proof battle suit to protect from further incidents. So yeah, quite the glow up. I really wish I knew who redesigned this character because oh, never mind. Firefly depicted in, well, I don't know if that's actually, I don't know if that's the redesign, if that's when that happened, because it's post Crisis and Nightfall was before 1995. So I don't know. All right, we can wrap it up with this guy right here. I know this is going to be a shorter episode, but unfortunately, I do have things to do with my family today, and that's okay. Because I don't know how much more we were going to talk about these characters. Maybe Deadshot we can revisit. We'll revisit like the glow up, and maybe we'll talk about Firefly again. But I need to see this one more time. I mean, let's just zoom in on this real quick, just for everybody, just so we all can one more time. Look at that. Look at that guy. Oh, hey, calm down. And then we can let's go to this bad boy right here. I'll zoom in a little bit more. Let me click on this. The Crazy Quilt. Only 7 more hours to go. Nah, this one's got to be short. What, you got something going on today, Jay? And by the way, thanks for stopping in, brother. If you need me to hop in on something, I'm more than happy to help you. But Crazy Quilt, Crazy Quilt. Crazy Quilt is the name of several characters in DC Comics. The first being Mr. Quilt, an enemy of the Boy Commandos. As if that didn't sound gay enough. And later, Robin. Well, you know what, buddy? You have a great day. And thank you for stopping in. Let's see. And as you know, you're always welcome on the news, my friend. But the second version, Paul Decker, is an enemy of the Blackhawks. The third version, also named Paul Decker, is an enemy of post-crisis Batman and Robin. The fourth is an unnamed female version who was in the memory of Alexander Luthor's secret society, which, you know, whatever. The first and the third are blind and use special helmets to enable them to regain their vision and generate rainbow energy beams. Crazy Quilt also appears in Batman Brave and the Bold. You know what? Let's make this a teeny tiny bit smaller. Publication history. Mr. Quilt, the original Crazy Quilt, first appeared in Boy Commandos 15 in May of 46. He was created by Jack Kirby. Nice. All-time great, Jack Kirby. He first encountered Robin in Star Spangled Comics in December of 51. The first Paul Decker incarnation of Crazy Quilt appeared in Black Hawk 180. That's in 1963 by artist Dick Dillon. Post-crisis version of the original Crazy Quilt was first seen in Detective Comics 566 in September of 86. So really early in post-crisis. At first, his real name was not mentioned in Batman, The Widening Gyre, which is February in 2010. He was given the name Paul Decker rather than Mr. Quilt. And if anyone knows who wrote The Widening Gyre, that was Kevin Smith. So I don't like regarding anything that Kevin Smith contributes to comics, because he is a sellout, a crybaby, and a bitch. So I don't know if I think that counts. I'm gonna press doubt. The unidentified female version of Crazy Quilt first appeared in Villains United in August 2005 and was created by Gail Simone and Dale Eaglesham. Yes, here. Rival. Crazy Quilt. Oh, Mr. Quilt. Crazy Quilt began his life as a noted painter named Quilt, who leads a double life as a master criminal. He gives the plans for his crimes to various henchmen through clues left in his paintings. However, he is blinded by a gunshot wound after one of the henchmen betrays him. Subsequently, he volunteers for an experimental procedure to restore his vision, but he's left unable to see anything but bright colors. In his second published appearance, he regains his vision using a special light emitting helmet. After 5 published encounters with the boy commandos, Crazy Quilt faces Robin the Boy Wonder for the first time. In Earth 1 continuity, Crazy Quilt's history is identical to the Golden Age version. Crazy Quilt's sight is restored briefly after he kidnaps a surgeon to assist him. Batman and Robin intervene, during which Crazy Quilt is blinded again after Robin reflects his light beams at him. Obsessing over his young adversary, he becomes one of the few Bat villains to hate Robin more than his mentor. Later attempting to enact revenge upon Robin, Crazy Quilt mistakenly takes his aggression on, oh no, Jason Todd.
Dead puppies. Dead puppies. Dead puppies aren't much fun.
Gone, forgotten, and then brought back. Jason Todd, forever in our hearts. He later fought Jason Todd again after knocking Batman unconscious. One more. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure the Raggedy Man is not a Golden Age character. Okay, thank God. He is not. So, yeah. So what do you guys think? Some of these characters have endured or are cool, and most of them are just kind of throwaway. Batman really didn't, besides the big ones that we have covered. And let's not forget, let's do away with these. Let's put me back up top here. We're just going to go through a couple of different ones that we have covered in the Golden Age here. And, you know, we had the Riddler, we have the Penguin, we have Catwoman, we have Two-Face, we have Clayface, Hugo Strange, and the Mad Hatter. So, there's definitely a great foundation for his core rogues gallery, but these guys were just the ones who either sort of made it, don't have the level of fame. Okay, you can argue that Mad Hatter could have just made this list, but I don't know. His history got so bonkers that I just felt that it merited an episode. I don't think Firefly really is as cool as the character's new design is. I don't think he merits the same respect that Mad Hatter has gotten, and he definitely I would definitely say that I think we've done it. Dr. Death, like I said, has only made 4 appearances since his inception. A lot of them are kind of like right aways. The Mad Monk I said I think you only really see him a couple of times in comics, and then the rest of these ones are just so ridiculous that I don't think they merited an episode. So I just wanted to wrap up the Golden Age with this. So when we come back next week is my grandmother's funeral. So the following week, so the 20th, I will be back with CaveCast, and we will be kicking off the Silver Age of comics. So I think I don't, I'm gonna have to glance through, but maybe we'll do someone like Batmite. Yeah, the world has never forget Mr. Camera. No, that we'll have to find. He seems pretty meme worthy. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make him part of the show for sure. But that's gonna do it for today, guys. I really appreciate you. I'm sure I'll have my regular panelists back, in the coming weeks, but it's just the way that things worked out. And, unfortunately, with everything that's been going on in my family, my schedule's been a little sporadic. So we will see you again on the 20th, and that will be our first Silver Age character, and I will be sure to find something ridiculous, because that's what the Silver Age is as much as there is this zaniness in the Golden Age. It doesn't really hold a candle, because you could get these like violent characters like the Joker and everything. There wasn't a lot of rules. It's really once you get into the comic book code of authorities, when they started meddling with these writers and told them what they can and can't do, that's when you see like the Joker. Thank you. That's when you see like the Joker like running into the, like in stealing a bowling alley, or so it's something ridiculous like that. Although the Riddler doesn't change very much. But so we will go on that, and I will see you all for the news tomorrow night. I don't know who's going to be joining us, but I don't care. It'll just be nice to be back. I'll see you all later. Have a great day, and I don't know. Batman.
Come on.
Yes, Batman, clad in the somber costume which has struck terror to the heart of many a swaggering denizen of the underworld.
Bob?
Gun.
Holy CinemaScope! Holy miscast Batman! Holy movie mogul! Holy cliffhangers Batman! Holy suborbit Batman! It's raining down there! Big history! Holy catastrophes Batman! Holy bullseye Batman! Holy stereo! Listen to this! Holy armadillos! Holy Krypton! Holy trampoline! Holy fork in the road! Holy Titanic Batman! Holy Houdini! Holy funny bone the Joker! Holy chutzpah! Holy precision! Come on, Worth!
Tomorrow, same that time, same that channel.
The monster who took you from me will soon learn that revenge is a dish best served cold.